Here we go. Today's date, 1/31, 1/31/22, okay? What we want to talk about today is graphing linear equations. We're going to graph a lot of different lines in this class. The word linear, when you see the word linear, it specifically means straight lines. I know you've heard of y equals mx plus b, and if it's been a long time, my guess is you've probably heard of it somewhere, right? Y equals mx plus b. It makes it graphing lines easy. This number, the b, is our y-intercept. And the m is our slope. The reason we have x and y is an awful lot of applications. They have two things that go together. Two things. Now think about this. A lot of you guys drive, right? If you don't drive, you're starting to learn how to drive, right? But we all know that when you get in a car and drive, two things happen. The longer you drive, the farther you go. So you got a relationship between two things, right? So in our world, there's an awful lot of applications of two things. So we use x and y to represent anything. Could be distance and time, or we'll just stick to x and y so we learn the rules about the relationship between two things. Like in the car, I drive for 2 hours, I go 120 miles, right? And I drive a little further, a little more. So there's always a relationship between two things. We'll just use x, y, right? So if that's the case, we're going to have an x and a y in my answer. So I'm going to draw my x-axis, and I'm going to draw my y-axis. And I'm going to draw a line. Every line is different, but every line has a name. I'll say it again. Every line is different, but every line has a name. This line that we're going to graph has a name. It's y equals 2/3 x minus 5. We're going to put this line on this graph by starting right there. That's our start. That's called my y-intercept. So I'm going to find -5 on my y-axis. So 2/3 x minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I start right there at -5. And then I need to go ahead and draw my line. This 2/3 is a slope. Slope is a rise over run. Now I'm hoping this is really a nice little review. I kind of guessed a lot of you know what I'm talking about, but think about this. We just got done walking up the stairs, right? On the stairs, stand right there. If I try and go forward, up on the stairs, right? Right there. What's going to happen? I'm going to fall down, right? Obviously, you pick your foot up first and then walk. Does that make sense? Do the same thing. We'll start at -5, and we'll go up 2, over 3. Remember that? Up 2, remember that? Up 2 over 3. And that's your slope. It's easy, right? Thumbs up. Right? Even if it's been a year, you probably still remember that, right? So we start at -5, which is my y-intercept, and I'm going to go -5, a slope of 2/3. I'm going to go up 2 over 3. I'm going to keep going up the stairs, up 2 over 3. I can do as many points as I need to, but I'm going to just stop there and draw my line. I put arrows on the ends of my lines because a line is forever long, right? That's it. This line that I just drew has a name. This is the name of this line, 2/3 x minus 5. Thumbs up. It's okay to give me sideways if you're a little confused. I don't mind. Okay. How about number 2? I want to graph number 2. I know where to start, don't I? Where am I going to start? -3. So let me put in my x and my y-axis. Okay. So I'm going to go down to -3 on the y-intercept. And then I gotta go. Yeah.
Oh, basically you just put a 1 underneath it because that equals the same thing.
Nice job. Because we need a fraction, right? You have to have a fraction because slope is a fraction. So 2/1, so I'm gonna go up 2/1. Nice job. Up 2/1. Okay, thank you. So we need a fraction because slope is a rise or run. So an easy way to do that is make that a 2/1. But I'm going to go up 2/1, up 2/1. I can connect the dots. There I have. Okay. Question, Gabe? Yes.
Can you do the ones on the back?
Yes, we're going to get there. Are you ahead of me? I like that. Good for you. Okay, number 3. Where are we going to start? Okay, so I'm going to put my x-axis, my y-axis down. Start at +1 on the y-axis. Good. Now what's my slope? -1 over 1, just like up here, over 1. Now there's an invisible number, right? Don't normally write it, but there's an invisible 1 here, 1/1. So my slope has to be a fraction. It's the fraction in front of the x, so -1/1. I'm going to go down 1/1, down 1/1, right? I connect the dots. Okay. Now, something may seem obvious, but I must show it anyway. Okay. May seem very obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. Positive slope goes up. Positive slope goes up. Negative slope goes down. When I say up and down, because no Mr. Davies, it's going up. We always read from left to right. So this is actually going down. I mean, that's obvious. You guys, everybody see that? I mean, math does not have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard at all. Okay, how about number 2? Or, sorry, number 4. Let's start at 5. Okay, let's start at 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now what? You're so close. How about 0/1? How about 0/1? Yeah.
Isn't it just like a straight line?
It's a horizontal line, isn't it? You guys remember that? Good job, Cassidy. It's a horizontal line. So let me put the 0/1 because I like that. So if I rewrote it as y equals 0x plus 5 or 0/1, it is up 0/1, up 0/1, up 0/1. So it is a horizontal line. Totally correct. There it is. Now, again, let me show you the obvious. I like to see the obvious. Okay, what's the y value right here? What's the y? Everybody look, what's the y value?
5.
What's the y value? What's the y value? What's y value? Isn't y always equal to 5? See how it works? Math does not have to be hard, Paige. It can be really easy, huh? Okay, number 3, or number 5, what do you think? I mean, this one's, what do you think number 5 is going to look like? Yeah.
The vertical line, -3.
There you go. Yep, vertical line. Now, there is no other way to write this. It's just x equals -3. So Michael's right. It is a vertical line at x equals -3. So -3 on the x-axis, right? And it is a vertical line. It has no slope.
has no slope, okay?
Has no slope. I know a lot of you guys like to ski, right? This has, well, some do. All right, this has a slope of 0. It's like cross-country ski, right? Slope 0. This is death. You don't want to ski this, right? This is death. This is death.
So at a 179-degree angle, like just like barely like that, would still count as a
Yes.
ski down?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd still be a function, which we haven't talked about functions, and this is not a function, which we have not talked, we're a couple of days ahead, right?
Oh, all
Right? This is not a function. Forget that word for right now. We're going to talk about it in a couple of days, okay? Yeah, this has no slope. You guys agreed? No slope at all, okay? How about number 6? Well, what do you think? We start at 100? I could. I want to. I have to start at 100, but I'm not going to get like,
You have to scale down.
okay, scale, right? We're going to scale. What do you want? I'm probably going to scale by 25s because of this right here, right? So I'm probably going to scale by 25s. That probably make it a little bit easier for me.
So I'm going to go, I know where it goes, so I'm kind of putting my XY axis here. X, Y, and I'm going to scale by 25, so I'm going to go 25, 50, 75, 100, 200, okay. All right, so I'm going to start at 100. Great, what's the slope? What's my slope? 25 over 1, right? So I'm going to
Scale my x-axis by 1s. We move this scale by 25s. I'm going to have a different scale here because I got to go up 25 over 1, right? Does that make sense? I wouldn't want to go by 25s here because it'd be really hard to find 1. I'm just going to go by 1s on this scale, right? So I'm going to go
1, 2, 3. Nice job. You're ahead of me. Great. I like that.
So is it?
Awesome. So up 25 over 1, up 25 over 1. Looks like that. Okay. Now, before we turn the page. Okay. Nice job, Gabe.
before we turn the page, look. Y equals. Y equals. Y equals. Y equals. And then you forget that one. Y equals, right? So if it says y equals, we can use our y equals mx plus b, right? Okay, turn the page.
Okay, so then it doesn't say y equals, right? But what we want to do is solve for x. And Michael, I'm not going to do it by the cover-up method, okay? I want to get it in slope-intercept form, okay? So if I want to solve for, I said this wrong, y, my bad. Solve for y. Here is, there's my y. There's my y variable. If I want to solve for y, I've got to get rid of the 2x and the 3. So I want to solve for y, so I get rid of all of the numbers around the y. So I'm going to get rid of the 2x first, so I'm just going to go minus 2x, minus 2x. So then I'm going to have a 3y equals a 12 minus 2x, right? I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. I get y equals 4 minus 2/3 x. Now it's pretty easy to graph, right? Now we can do it like we've been doing. I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to go ahead and put my x, my y axis on here. I'm going to start up at 4. That's my y-intercept. And my slope is a negative 2/3. So I'll go down 2 over 3. Right? Draw my line in with arrows. Last problem. 8's just like 7, except for it's just turned around. That's all right. The y is there. Again, I want to solve for y, right? There's my y. So let's get rid of the 3x. So to get rid of 3x, I'm just going to subtract 3x from both sides. 8 minus 3x is 8 minus 3x equals negative 2y. You can't subtract those. Everybody agree with that? That's an 8, that's 3x. Divide by negative 2, because it gets rid of both the 2 and the negative 2. Divide everything by negative 2, everything by negative 2, right? Divide by negative 2. That's a 8 divided by negative 2 is a negative 4. Negative 3 and negative 2, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Yep, 3 over 2x equals, cancel, cancel, y. I can graph that now, right? Okay, I can graph that. So I'm going to go ahead and start at negative 4. I'm going to go up 3 over 2. Okay. Connect the dots. Okay, so today's homework is just going to be a worksheet. Today's a review day, so it's going to be, I'm hoping it's easy, but the first half of it is just solve for x. You can see that 1 through 8, solve for x. And then the back side is graphing. If you need to borrow graph, I have graph paper for those kids that don't have graph paper. Let me stop my recording and I will pass this out, okay?